Alright, how's everybody doing today? We are back with another ARC build, and we are on the island map at coordinates 29.2 latitude, 15.0 longitude. The reason I came and decided to do this on the island map, I was going to do it on Valguero, but there's no true oceans in Valguero. You got a lot of riverbeds and stuff like that, but there's nothing to where it's really deep, and you got a lot of flat ground underneath it. And so I could have maybe done it on Ragnarok, but I decided, well, I've already got a base built on the island map. I've got a lot of supplies there and armor and different things, so I just decided just to come and do it over here. But here we are here with our Biotic Mosasaur. This is Betty. Say hello, Betty. The Mosasaur is basically, it's the battleship of the deep. Very aggressive, does a lot of damage, it's got a lot of health, a lot of stamina, and it can carry a lot too. And they're just fun creatures. And of course, I got it the bionic skin and the tech saddle, because the Mosasaur ain't much to look at. I mean, they're very drab and just kind of bloated looking. They're not very attractive. But that kind of gives a little bit of a different look. But we are here to do what is called the Atlantis base. And I thought, well, you know, I didn't want an area that was real active with a lot of predators and stuff. There are a few sharks which will come up around here and stuff. But this is the Atlantis base. What does everybody think of it? I know. It looks spectacular, don't it? And we have these tech lights for at night. It'll actually let me put them along. It actually let me attach them to this big, like, ice mountain here or whatever. I thought that was kind of neat, because it gets very dark out here at night. But we know that we're Atlantis because there's a sign that says Atlantis. This structure took a long time to build. I put a lot of thought into it. And I know it is something special to look at, isn't it? See, and the only thing you really need here is a bed. And we got that taken care of right away. But no, I'm just kidding. I just decided to build this up above in case I'm flying overhead, because all this white, everything kind of blends together. And of course I got my tech teleporter out there. Everything just kind of blends in. This makes it a lot easier to spot from above. But when you do underwater bases, you have to build them. It's with a big learning experience for me. So let's go down, actually, to the base. We can put this away. You have to use what is called vacuum compartments to build underwater. So I had never done anything like this before. Let me get this porthole closed. There we go. You have to use what are called vacuum compartments, and that's why you see the metal poles going up everywhere, because each of these is their own compartment. And let me take this helmet off, because it is a pain in the ass to use down here, and that shows right there that it is airtight down here. It's got oxygen, you can breathe. But see, when you build with this underwater, and one thing I didn't like about this, and I didn't discover it till afterwards, I should have built another whole layer high on this base and use this bottom section as just sort of like a dead area, because of all this foliage that comes up through the floor, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like up on the ground where you can go around and gather this stuff and kind of clear it out if you're going to build, and that way it doesn't bleed through your foundations. There's nothing you can do with this down here. You can't gather it, you can't clear it away or anything like that. But anyway, that was just a little bit of a learning experience for me, and I'll have to try to do better with that if I build another one of these bases somewhere. But like I said, you can open these, you can close them. Like over in this area here, where I actually have this kind of walled off, and I was actually going to wall this all the way over, but I had put these tech lights up all through the base, because down here at night, I mean, it gets pitch black dark. But that's keeping me from closing the portholes on this side, but it's no big deal. Got a few refrigerators over here. couple cookers, got my preserving bins. But those are the only things that's keeping me from closing up the base entirely. But anyway, it's no big deal. You get the general idea. You can build it as big as you want. But one thing I would caution against, and I don't know if it's just something to do with maybe the island map, or the Valguero map's got its own little eccentricities and stuff like that. But it is a little laggy down here, and maybe that's just a side effect of building underwater. I really don't know. But I like it because you can see out everywhere. Just like I was down here yesterday, and there was a couple sharks, big sharks, megalodons swimming around over there. And over here you've got, you know, you can get out here and you can see the oil rocks, and there were some trilobites out here. I actually killed the trilobites. I needed some oil. But I wanted to leave the oil rocks because I think they're kind of neat to look at. And I didn't know with building here, if I took them out, if they, as far as respawn area, as far as close to your structures, if they would respawn or not. They might, but I decided just to let them go and just leave them there. And this actually, of course, now this is your entrance and exit to the base from above. And you could probably take and put what is called a moon pool, which is how you get into the base, which is the one block that I have up above. It's called a moon pool compartment, and that gives you your, you can close that up, and that way the whole tunnel coming down would be airtight and vacuum sealed, so you could breathe in it. And this here is actually another tower which goes up, but it doesn't need to go all the way, because when I started going back up towards the surface, you have to have a tech generator to power these compartments. And I do have my tech generator back here in this corner, because if I was to turn this tech generator off, you would lose the oxygen down here, and none of these compartments would function the way that they're supposed to. But I had to build this other tower up kind of to go alongside the other one, and up at the top I actually had, in that last compartment up there, I actually have another tech generator which is running, and that actually powers the top section of the entrance and exit tunnel. We have some cryopod fridges down here if you want to have other underwater animals, but you don't want to have them out right now. You could store them in there. And as you can see, it's just like all my bases, they get really far too big. This would be a perfect if you wanted to build something like this. If you play PvP and you do a lot of aquatic stuff, you could build one of these underwater. You got a ton of space. You could put a row of bunk beds in here, or you know, whatever you want to do. And over here we have, of course, we got to have a tech replicator. And let's see here, you can actually freeze these portholes, or you could just have everything open, and then that will let you see if you want to unfreeze the porthole. You still got your floor, it still operates the same way, it just gives it a different look in case you want to be able to see everything all throughout the base. Then you could do that, or you could just, you know, you could freeze it up real quick if you want more of a solid opaque type floor. But this base was it was a pain in the butt to build. Thank God for tech armor and the oxygen supply that goes with that, because I spent several hours floating around and gliding around underwater to get this built. Alright, let's put our tech helmet back on, because we're going back outside. Then all you do is do this, and then close that porthole. That seals it up. Let's go back up. Now obviously you're not going to be able to do this sort of jet propulsion going up or down, or you know, whatever, unless you now, come on now, unless you have your tech armor on with your jet pack on the back of your chest piece. Oh, hello there. And here's a better view of Eddie from down below. Yeah, like I said, they call these things the battleships of the deep, and they really are. They do a lot of damage. You can actually put extra points into their speed, their movement speed, and they will get up there and get going pretty good. But when I was building it, I was, it just looked like a big box. And of course, there's my my power tunnel. There's the other tech generator up in that one. And then there's my access tunnel that goes to the surface. I could put, like, if I wanted to, I could have put a moon pool over here on the top of this, or any of these for that matter. And that way I wouldn't have to go all the way up and to go in and out of the base. I just hadn't really bothered to do it. Oh, there's a trilobite. Hello. But I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of a different look, make it look more of a, I guess you could say, a fortress underneath. And so I built these big stone towers on either side. The only thing I wish I had done was in the middle of it, I wish I had put a stack of these compartments. And then the top one, I could have put a light up in here. And that would have lit up the roof of both of these. I thought that would have been a nice effect. But at night down here, with all, and I had to put a lot of lights in here because those tech lights, they do okay, but when you're dealing with such a big space, I mean, I bet I've got 100 tech lights all over the inside of that base in there. But when it gets dark down here, it really does light up really nice at night, and it's really good to look at. Because I originally thought when I was coming down here to build this, I thought, well, there's the actual ocean floor way up ahead over there, that brown area. So I went over there, but you cannot build down there. When you get down to the bottom, well, there's a shark over there. But anyway, when you get down there, you run into a lot of in-game, like, big wall barriers that you can't get past and you can't maneuver around down there very well. Excuse me. So I thought, well, I just need to get something that's a little up. And this was, I mean, there's other areas on the map, I'm sure, quite a few, but I decided just to do it over here because it is fairly quiet over here. Not a lot of predators. Like I said, you get a couple sharks here and there floating around, but it's not too bad. But if you like this base, please leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you have any questions about the base as far as building or anything like that, leave it in the comments. I'll be glad to answer it, or give you any advice that I can. Like I said, a lot of this is still a big learning experience for me, how to do everything, how not to do things, basically what to do and what not to do. But I appreciate everybody watching all my build videos. This is like the 7th, or maybe this will be the 8th build video I've got put up. And I've got a couple other, I am in the middle of doing a big treehouse build over on Valguero. I've got a lot more to do on that, and I've got a couple more ideas I'm working on for some other builds. But I do appreciate all the support I've been getting. Please share the videos out. Please check out my playlist with these videos. I've got them all on what's called a Ark Survival Evolved build playlist. But I would appreciate all the views I can get on them. All the interaction would really help me a lot. But everybody, thanks for watching. Appreciate all your support on my videos and my live streams. Everybody have a good day, and we will talk to you all later.